Here are underwater UFO sightings that stunned scientists. What stories do you have of deep-sea sightings? Let us know down below. Number 10. Pacific Deep Water Base. Marcelo Igazusta, an Argentinian researcher, would discover a massive formation in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Mexico. It was described as a large double pyramid several miles in length and diameter, and was hypothesized to be a descended alien craft now used as a deep-sea Pacific base. This would be picked up by UFO blogger Scott Waring and spread farther, and has now gained international attention. The Pacific is vast and deep, but the waters around the base are not the most untraveled, and so many people have claimed to see sightings in the waters surrounding the Pacific coast of Mexico. Some have even been claiming, now that the base has been found, that it has been moving, its location shifting day by day, and it seems it may be seeking for less traveled waters. Who knows why? Number 9. Oumuamua. Oumuamua is a massive asteroid, several kilometers long, passing through our solar system. It has been hypothesized that asteroids like this one could be motherships, passing through multiple solar systems and depositing probes and other vessels which keep an eye on the various planets in that solar system, perhaps searching for resources and chances of life. And those suspicions may have been confirmed correct. It seems a series of recently entering asteroids may have detached from Oumuamua sometime around when it entered the solar system. Interestingly, these asteroids upon entry did not shatter and burn up entirely as most do, but seemed to remain whole as they plunged into the sea. Not a single one of these dozen entering objects hit solid land. Every single one plunged directly into the ocean. Explanations for these strange coincidences, the shocking resilience of the asteroids, the large number of objects, and everyone hitting the ocean, has not been explained. Number 8. Hiding in the drink. This fascinating video was taken on the USS Zumwalt, a stealth-guided missile destroyer in the US Navy, while it was on exercises off the coast of California. It shows a UAP flying through the air, no exhaust, control surfaces, or much thermal signature at all showing up on the Advanced Thermal Targeting System. The crew comments on the object approaching rapidly, but no alerts are issued, and the sailors tracking the object watch as it descends and enters the water, splashing a little before vanishing. Navy crews, secretive though they are, report constant sightings of these strange vessels and objects in the air. More than frequently, these objects are sighted descending from high altitude into the water. Not a single person has an explanation for these strange sights and their unusual frequency. It could be a vastly advanced aircraft constructed by the US or some other powerful nation. Or it could be aliens returning to their deep-sea bases. Number 7. The Yorkshire Abductions. Russell Kellett, a UFO researcher, has been investigating a strange series of disappearances and sightings all along the British coast of Yorkshire for over 20 years. A series of sightings and disappearances eventually led Russell to his decision. For 20 years, Russell has been capturing footage of creatures and beings leaving the water's edge, strange lights and sightings, and more. In 1970, U.S. Air Force pilot William Schaffner was on an exchange flying with the RAF when he reported seeing strange sights and would eventually crash directly at full speed into the waters by Yorkshire, though his body would never be found, and neither was there any evidence in the wreck of him ejecting. Many people believed he had been chasing a UFO and got disoriented, following it as it plummeted into the water in the night, believing he was chasing it straight out. Russell says he now has evidence of there being a base in the Atlantic waters near the edge of Yorkshire, but no direct evidence has been shown. Number 6. Antarctic Depths. The waters around Antarctica are incredibly deep and incredibly mountainous. The shore by the actual landmass of the continent of Antarctica slopes off slowly before suddenly dropping to incredible depths. There are mountain ranges of thermal vents and spires that jut upwards, sharp spikes that rise thousands of meters. The currents in the depths are also incredibly turbulent, swirling water through the mountainous ranges. It is down here, in these alien, unfamiliar lands, that researchers have been spotting strange sightings. Unusual and unexplainable lights in the dark, strange silhouettes off in the gloom. Worse still, a deep-sea current tracking system would identify several eddies, places where inexplicably current swirled. Fluid dynamics is complicated, but these eddies are completely unusual. Some subsurface expeditions have found strange sightings in the locations of these eddies, but all findings have quickly been classified and denied to the public. What is dwelling in these depths? Number 5. Atlantic Base. During submarine exercises in the Atlantic, far north of the Azores, the Portuguese Navy sub, the Tridente, was engaging in active attack patterns, running in full combat state, doing false attack runs on American ships. Suddenly, the Tridente identified a strange contact on sonar. Believing this to be a part of the exercises, the Tridente engaged, aggressive and quiet as a diesel-electric sub is built for. Despite the lack of active sonar, Tridente could pick up a strange wheedling, whistling sound emanating from the contact. They pursued it, using the air-powered propulsion for extra stealth. But everything went wrong when the Tridente blasted its active sonar, a signal that the target had been identified and targeted, and signaled an end to the exercise. The contact, instead of surrendering, immediately reacted aggressively, maneuvering into what could be seen as a strike position. Acting on instinct, the crew of the Tridente released a sonar decoy, and the sonar operators reported a loud crack ripple through the water. Then, signals were picked up all around them, the same wheedling sound, and the Tridente, suddenly concerned it had strayed into territorial waters and was about to cause an incident, dropped another sonar decoy and booked it south. However, the Tridente had never strayed into territorial waters, staying essentially out in the mid-Atlantic continuously, and no one else had identified any contacts. Number 4. The Hudson's Bay Sighting. In 1834, the SS Kipling was sailing through Hudson's Bay when a sudden mist descended on the bay. This was not in and of itself unusual. Mists settle on the bay frequently, but to onlookers from the shore, a chilling sight would appear. Several flashes of light, loud shrieking, tearing bangs. Just a minute later, a massive fireball seemed to expand across the horizon, the heat of which sucked away the mist. Mere moments later, the bay was calm and clear as it had been before the mist, but the Kipling was gone. Not a single sign of her slipping below the waves. However, there have been since other strange disappearances out in the bay, and strange lights and motions seen beneath the waves. Number 3. Point Nemo. Point Nemo is the most isolated point on the planet, a point of ocean the farthest from land it is possible to be in the world's oceans. The closest landmass is 2,688 kilometers away from Point Nemo, and even these are simply tiny islands dispersed in open ocean. There is a great deal of sightings and evidence of extraterrestrial phenomena throughout the world's oceans, and given the amount of traffic and presence on most of the oceans, any large anomalous phenomena are easily detected. And as the Pacific and Atlantic bases may have been found, it seems reasonable that Point Nemo, the most isolated section of ocean on Earth possible, would also host a base of some sort. Still, given how little traffic travels through these waters, it seems there are a disproportionate number of sightings. Could there be something hiding beneath Point Nemo? Number 2. Tamu Massif. Tamu Massif is the largest aquatic volcano on Earth. It is truly massive, covering an area of 500,000 square kilometers. And despite its peak sitting 2 kilometers below the surface, the base travels another 4.5 kilometers farther down into the depths. It is unknown when Tamu Massif last exploded, and it is possible that it may never explode again. But likewise, the immense size has raised some concern, with any possible detonation causing serious damage. Scientists would send a series of ROV expeditions down to the submerged volcano, and initially, everything seemed unremarkable. But on the eastern edge of the volcano, the ROVs discovered something strange. What seemed to be an opening on the side of this underwater mountain that expanded several meters in diameter. The ROVs entered this tunnel, what they presumed was a lava tube of some sort, and began to explore. But a shrill, scraping, humming sound would echo through the tunnel, and rapidly several of the feeds cut short. One ROV would see a strange sight, something revealing itself from the blurry tunnel wall, and then a flash of light would cut off this final ROV. None of them would be recovered. Number 1. The Bermuda Exclusion Zone. The Bermuda Triangle is a famous story, a section of ocean where ships mysteriously disappear. It can be safely said that these stories are mostly a cause of poor communication and rough seas in a frequently traveled area. But today, this has essentially entirely vanished. But still, there is something there, kilometers off the coast of Bermuda, that is being kept from us. The Bermuda Exclusion Zone is a highly guarded 20-kilometer square patch of ocean in some seemingly random spot out in the Caribbean. This minuscule patch of ocean is nothing in comparison to the territory covered by the Bermuda Triangle, and yet, why would such a heavy armament be put in place to guard such a tiny patch of ocean? Could it be this spot was actually the danger spot of the Triangle, the point responsible for all these vanishing ships? Those were underwater UFO sightings that stunned scientists. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, and share, and be sure to follow for more.